take a look at Meta after its 20-session winning streak was snapped yesterday. Joining us to discuss, Ron Westfall, Research Director, the Futurum Group. Ron, thank you so much for joining us this morning. All right, let's talk about, Meta had this big run recently, gain after gain. It seemed like week after week. It was almost a 3-week run here. Does it make sense to kind of reset that happened yesterday?
Does make sense. And I think it's a great question because it's like, what is next? And I think what we're seeing is that Meta is getting a new look, a level set, if you will. However, I'm anticipating that this is not something that will be an enduring trend. That is, Meta is investing $60 billion to $65 billion in its AI infrastructure and assets. And this is aligning with the mega trend throughout the entire industry. We're seeing all the verticals really lining up to become more adept at AI. And this is, I think, where Meta has a strong opportunity. Already they brought on, for example, Clara Shih, the CEO of AI at Salesforce, to head up their efforts to really become more adept at selling their AI capabilities to enterprises, capitalizing on fast-growing B2B opportunities. And I think this is going to strengthen their competitive position against other hyperscalers such as Google, Microsoft, and actually AWS. So I think this is a brief pause as Meta really is restocking itself to really become a more effective competitive force in 2025.
This is just a temporary pullback. In other words, in your view, when you see this as more of a continuation of a growth story for Meta?
That is it. Yeah, that's it in summary. And it's other factors involved here. For example, Meta is building out its largest data center to date. That is in the Richland Parish of Louisiana. That's 4 million square feet. And it's really doubling its stockpile of GPU technology, going from 600,000 GPUs to 1.3 million by the end of the year. And this is aligning with other important trends. For example, Future Intelligence data indicates that we're going to see a 30% CAGR just in AI software and tools over the next 5 years. And this is good news for ongoing initiatives such as META A.I, which is aimed to reach over 1 billion active monthly users by the end of this year alone. So in essence, Meta is going to be a major integral player in how AI evolves, not just in 2025, but also into the foreseeable future. And these investments are going to make a difference.
Okay, the investment's going to make a difference. Meta is obviously a big spender when it comes to its AI CapEx spending. It talked about plans to spend between 60 to 65 billion. How do those investments, in your mind, position it against the other AI mega cap heavyweights?
Excellent question. I think there's going to be at least two things to look at. First of all, Meta is keeping pace with the other hyperscalers when it comes to AI investments. And we're seeing like that is going to be $300 billion aggregate when you take the 4 major hyperscalers and look at the planning spend throughout the course of this year. What's also important is, okay, how is Meta going to differentiate itself and gain a competitive edge? I think one thing to keep an eye on, and Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO, has already made this a strategic initiative, and that is, making the metaverse just that more relevant to not only regular users of their various social media applications, but also in terms of how it can impact, again, the enterprise side. And I think that's worth reiterating here, that second aspect, that Meta is going to be able to really compete more directly against the other hyperscalers, I think, to win more of that important B2B business for the reasons that we've outlined here.
You make a great point, and Mark Zuckerberg had always said that he wasn't moving away from the metaverse because remember, when he initially rolled out the idea of the metaverse, investors weren't super keen on it. He has doubled down on it, called this year, quote, a pivotal year for the metaverse. The company also developing an AI agent with coding capabilities that would basically be comparable to a kind of mid level engineer. What do you think are the business implications of that?
Well, I think it's what we're seeing with AI overall, more efficiency, and that will increase more demand and also affordability. And I think when it comes to coding, I think that's something that is flying under the radar a bit, but it's an important dimension here that is helping to make businesses more efficient. It doesn't mean, okay, all these folks who are in coding are going to be replaced by AI. What AI is going to do is make their ability to code all the more efficient, all the more better outcomes that align really with the business needs of the organization that's using META A.I. So I think that's an important aspect here. It's not just about, okay, can we get more GPU clusters to train to speed up training and inferencing and so forth. It's about the end-to-end AI proposition, and I think Meta is going to have just that, solutions that can address enterprise needs, because what they're really emphasizing here in the near term is having a partner that can help them right-size their AI training to make sure that they're taking advantage of AI in an optimal sense, that it's really truly aligned with their distinct business needs. And I think these are going to be difference makers for Meta.
All right, difference makers for Meta. We shall see. Lost a little bit of ground yesterday, but Ron says that's just a brief pause. Ron Westfall, the Futurum Group. Thanks a ton, Ron, for insight on Meta and its recent bull run.